Hey guys, so I'm doing the sociology biweekly video post number 2. The terms that I found to be most important in this week's lesson were public alert and warning essentials. So this is the acronym IPAWS, IPAWS. This is the ability to send immediate warnings to the American people in case of an emergency. Emergency preparedness is the action taken to be ready to respond to and survive during an emergency. Environmental monitoring is the process of analyzing specific things in the environment like plants and water. This is measuring their quality. Damage assessment is the evaluation of damage or loss caused by an accident or natural event. Vulnerability assessment, this can be man-made or natural vulnerabilities. Man-made is chemical plants, nuclear plants, drinking water contamination. Natural vulnerabilities include blizzards, floods, and wildlife fires. And then resource acquisition, which is basically obtaining the planning staff and equipment from a variety of sources that you need. So the muddiest part, or the part of this week's lesson that did not make much sense to me, was when I was reading the document and the link shared out last week called The Hidden Disaster, Domestic Violence in the Aftermath of Natural Disaster. So the muddiest part was just that there was a high correlation between natural disasters and domestic violence. It just kind of stuck out to me a little bit there. It's kind of like, what? How does that really correlate? But it was actually a very interesting article reading through it. And I wanted to share a quote that I found in it. It's still very fuzzy. That's why I'm putting this as my muddiest part for the week, just because it doesn't really make much sense to me as to how this really plays out. But the quote that I found that kind of clears it up in a way says, "The aftermath of Black Saturday presents Australians with the opportunity to see how deeply embedded male privilege is." So it kind of just shows male privilege, which ties into the domestic violence in Australians. Another quote that I found that was just good to look over was, emergency management can play a part in preventing domestic violence after a disaster by attending to it in planning, response, and recovery stages. And since we're learning all about emergency management, I thought that was a really good quote to read. So, my question for this week, if you took one of the fun quizzes that the professor shared out, let's see. It was the 10th question, I believe, in the second quiz that she sent out. So the question says, who are more likely to die in floods and hurricanes? The options are men, women, children, and then the fourth option, everyone is at equal risk. So my question is, if you picked anything other than the correct answer, why did you pick it? So for instance, I picked children because I believe that they would definitely be more likely to die in floods and hurricanes just because they're smaller, they don't know what to do. But my question is, why did you pick anything other than the correct answer of men? Thank you.